Let's see. Get this fucking link. Right, I've got this problem with the printer, right? Now, I'm completely lost with this thing, but Richard, the guy that designed the printer originally, sent me the file, so I've just opened the configuration H file, which has basically got settings in it, and I assume that those settings are the ones highlighted in orange, because those orange boxes weren't there before. So I'm basically looking at this. I'm looking at the configuration H file on this website. This Alan, you have to tell me when you're watching, because otherwise I'll repeat myself. Tell me when you've got it open. Okay, right, you've got me. Alright, I'll just explain. Right, this website, firmware.com, firmware version 100, whatever, blah blah blah. This is the website that Richard used to create the firmware for this printer. Oh, right. What do you mean? Oh, you mean that? Oh, unless I zoom in. I'll try and make it bigger. Is that any better? Is that any better? I just brought the screen a bit bigger. Well, this is a firmware configuration website, and I'll go to the start button. You basically set up everything for the printer in here, and the configurator, it says here, the configurator is the solution to the typical configuration hell when it comes to creating or updating new firmware for your 3D printer. While the wanted values are quite simple, many users get lost. Yeah, I'm lost. In the different options and when they need to be set. In this configurator, we try to hide all information and settings that are not relevant for your printer based on previous answers, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so what I did was, there's an option there. It says upload old configuration. Now Richard, who built this printer originally, he sent me a zip file and I open the zip file and I open the configuration H file, which is what it's mentioned here somewhere. There. Right, I open the configuration H file, which Richard had originally customised, and all of the options that he'd set are basically highlighted in orange by the looks of it, because they weren't there before. So I assume that those are things that he's set up. Right. I know I've got Marlin. Yeah, it's a Marlin flavour. It says in here somewhere. No, it's a Cartesian printer. This printer is Cartesian. It says there. Right. It says so when I go to server, open server from end. Let's open that. To log in. Now I'm going to look at everything that's actually on the printer. So I need to go home, and then I need to go there. Printer settings. Now this is what's actually on the printer. It says there, Cartesian. Right, printer variant Cartesian. That's what it says. And the other option is Delta. So there's Delta and there's Cartesian. So it is set to Cartesian. There's a printer model there, printer event specific model name. Well, that's blank really. Firmware, repetitive firmware. So I'm on the right website, and these are the board settings and the COM ports and everything. Serial connection, COM3, and that's the baud rate there, 115200, and so this tells me basically what's on the printer, because this is retrieved from the firmware. It says here auto detect on firmware, and that's basically what it's telling me. And the ones that are in green are the settings that are in the firmware, and obviously I made some slight adjustments, because some of them have got the little red dot and they're not green. I don't know where those, unless I reset them again. Now, looking at the settings, they look right to what I've seen on that website. Now, the website, it says ramps 1.3, ramps 1.4. That sounds like it's right, because it's definitely not a Rambo, because Rambos are newer. There's all these options in here. None of this looks familiar to me at all. None of these other options look familiar at all, whatever. And I don't want to mess with that, because that's and it is using the Arduino Mega thing, whatever that is, because I've already connected to it on the I used the Arduino thing, and it actually connected to that on that processor thing. So that's the processor it's using, and it says Cartesian printer type, and EEPROM set 1 and default port. I've got it set on no Bluetooth, because I don't think it's got Bluetooth on it, no. But anyway, everything that's in orange appears to be what he said. But all I really want is to put the offsets in there. Now this is obviously what he set up, because these look right. These are what I've been getting really. is the bed size, this is the bed size or something, or distortion, I don't know. Yeah, I can enter commands in a text window, but I have to go to it. I get a lot of errors if I do it. If I go to if I go to this repetier thing, or I've got the console in the repetier server thing here. Let's go back a minute. If I go to console, there's a console window here where you can enter codes in here. Enter your G code here. Well, I often get errors. I get weird things going on, but when I open the Arduino software, which I've got to disconnect this first to do that, but when I open the Arduino software and I send commands, I don't get any error messages, so I could make I could send in bad commands and not even know it, because it doesn't tell me if I've done something wrong. So I prefer to use this, really. It's safer for the moment. But the problem is, if I go, I saved some codes here, look. Oh, that's not the one I want. If I go to the where is it? I don't know if this is it. Oh, it's that one. This is the one. G codes. Right, if I go there to this website, I enter this website. There's a bunch of commands. It says M218 set hot end offset. Now, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, really. So I need to really make the offset set. Now, but it gives you all this index stuff, and I don't know what the index address is. That's the problem. I don't know what the index address is. If it's got one, it might be a 0. The mailing page is. Oh, you mean that link I gave you? This one up here? No. Where is it? You mean this one? Hang on, let's open that one. I'll just close that one down a minute. Right. Oh, this is the same one I'm on. Yeah, this is the same one I was on. I don't know what to put in. It says M500 loaded with M501. Now I don't know what the command is because I'm confused. I need to be able to read something, really. Index is active hot end. You only have one. Yeah, I've only got one hot end. Yeah. So. Yeah, well, this is why I was looking at this firmware page, because it should tell me everything. It should tell me what the things are assigned to, because this is a configuration file that Richard used. So let me go through here and find the hot end. See if I can find the assigned number. It should be on here, or it might be on the other page. Hang on, let's go to mechanics. Right, I'm in the mechanics now. Right, this is all generic stuff. I want the First of all, I need to find out the ID number. That's the thing. And I can't seem to find it in those configuration files because it doesn't tell me. I mean, on the Repetier software, it doesn't tell me. I'll go to the next step because there's nothing there. Tools. So you type. So type the command M500. Alright, you want to type M500 in that window. Hang on. Send. It just says info configuration stored to EEPROM, but it didn't store anything. I didn't put anything after it, so yeah, we mustn't send blank entries because it might wipe something out. I don't know. I'll just be safe to read stuff for now, you know. Go back to that other page a minute. Oh, I don't want that one open. Right, I don't know why I am. What's M500? M500 is save settings, M501 is restore settings, M502 is factory reset, M503 is report settings. Oh, let me try M503. M503. It just says unknown command. So this is the kind of problems I'm having with this. It's giving me unknown command errors and all that shit. Right, alright, yeah, but I have to define what setting, what values I'm looking at. Is it X or Y or what, you know? M503 just says unknown command because I didn't put anything after it. You've got to put something after it. You got to ask. It's like asking a question. You got to ask a question about a specific thing, because that website if you go to the top, usage M2, if you put in a number, you put the number there, right, and then the index of the item you query in, and then you put the X offset or the Y offset or whatever, and or Y offset or Z offset, whatever. So this is what's confusing me when I'm querying something. So so M503, so if I put M503, then it should be X. Let's try that. Well, it's given me M503X 0.00, but it still says unknown command. Yeah, I don't know the flag though, that's the problem. That's just the problem, I don't know the flag. That's what is driving me nuts. I don't know what the flag is. Because it says there, look, T, index. What is the index? I don't know what the index is. That is what's driving me batty. I don't know the index, so I can't put an index number in because I don't know what it is. Alright then. Right. M543 TO, is that a 0? Then X, I'll try that. Right, I've got two unknown commands. I've got actually two things came up. No, one came up. It's just come up with M503 TOXO, and it still says unknown command. T1 X. I don't know if I'm typing it right or what, but try that. That's the one I've just done. It's still the same unknown command. I don't want to be messing about like this because I'm blindly doing things in the dark. I might actually wreck it, you know. Oh, actually, I need a coffee on. I'm gonna go and put my kettle on. All right. I will have a think about it in a minute. I've just put kettle on, so oh, alright Alan, you're getting dinner. Okay. Show capabilities, what the heck? I should count this, I should copy this actually, because it's got the capabilities. I'll put that in my text file actually. Oh, that's just a timestamp, I'll get rid of that. Oh, I want the support ticket on a forum and they might need that information, so actually I've never been to that website, so I'm just gonna oh, what have I done here? I just want the website, not the whole thing. Oh, I see what's happened. It's not. It's just a generic link. Doesn't tell me the. Let's have a look at that anyway. So I'm struggling with this, and oh, it's very complicated. Oh. Well, this is all the manual stuff. There's that website which actually is what configures the firmware, which is the one I'm on here. It's a repetitive firmware configuration tool, so it actually configures the firmware specific to the printer, which is probably the best place to be actually, because I've loaded the configuration H file. Oh dear. Well, it says that the extruder name is extruder 0 in here. So now these are the offsets, and these are the ones I need to set really. So this is supposed to be like this, right? These are what I've been looking for really, but you see, this is to configure a new firmware. Now, the firmware might actually be wrong, and I could upload it and completely trash the printer because there might be things in there that I don't know about, and that's why I'm a bit reluctant to actually flash it. And even then, it's not that easy really. I don't want to change this. I mean, they say that this is simple, right? Well, it's not simple, because if you don't know bugger all about 3D printers, it's definitely not simple. It's like telling a caveman it's simple to press a button, but he doesn't even know what a button is. Because I feel like a cave person at the moment. So yeah, I'm not talking a lot because I have nothing to talk about, and I'm just looking and trying to figure this out. So I'll probably send this video link to Richard later on, because I assume that the orange settings are the ones that he set, because I loaded that configuration H. Now the question is, are these all the settings that were in the printer? Because I don't want to risk uploading a firmware. If it's wrong, I could completely mess everything up. Or maybe I could put it on the support forum. Somebody might be able to tell me what is going on. But like I probably need to word wrap this a bit actually, because I can't zoom in very well. So if I press enter, enter again, enter again, and put a space. Now I can zoom in and it should be readable, but it says firmware name Ortorea 0.92.6, firmware URL blah 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 blah, protocol version 1, machine type Mendel, extruder count 1, Ortorea protocol 3, printed filament 3293.27 meters, printing time 30 days, 16 hours and 43 minutes, printer mode FFF. Right, so so that's what I got saved in my text file. Well, this is orange, so this must be what he set up, what Richard set up. Well, I know for a fact there's no thermal fan connected to the bed, but there is a fan that's on all the time that cools the Arduino board, right? And there's another fan attached to the extruder which cools the hot end, stops the heat from going to the stepper motor. So that cools that little heat sink down, that little round heat sink thingy-jig. And so basically there's only one fan that's controlled, that's being controlled by software. The other fan is on all the time, it's direct. All these settings appear to be what I see. The disable heaters and motors on stopped SD print. That seems to be consistent. There's no bed coating. There's mentioned here, but obviously I do put some stuff down there myself, and the thickness is irrelevant really, because it's variable. I don't have a Z probe on it, so we can ignore all that. A Z probe is something that detects how, I do know about that, it detects how high the bed is, or how low the bed is, whatever. There's no sensor on the hot end, so there is no extruder switch. Well, a lot of this stuff doesn't seem to be set to naught, so except for the filament change lift. Extra motor, well, it's at naught, so I've done. I mean, it's only got one. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's two Z motors, two Z-axis motors for the two rods, threaded rods, and then there's two. There's one X and there's one Y motor. So. Go to user interface. I don't know what all this is about. Display controller. No, I'm not sure about that. Well, that looks like the one, because RefRap smart controller. No, why was it set? Why is it set to openhardware.co ZA LCD 2004? Because the smart controller from RefRap discount on ramps or lumbar, that looks like the right one, but why is it set to open hardware? I don't know why. Because I looked at the board, it definitely says smart controller from RefRap discount on it. But it says on a ramps or rumba board. Well, it's maybe not a ramps or rumba board, I don't know. So I kind of don't want to mess with that. This is all the kind of problems I've got. I don't know what I was supposed to set that to. Well, these settings have obviously been the ones that Richard set, because I haven't checked these boxes. And it's interesting that Turkish is set, French is set, Spanish is set, German and English is set, but Dutch, Brazilian, Italian and Swedish and Czech and Polish are not set. So, and the last time I came through this the last time I went through this, I lost it now. The last time I went through this menu system, Schubers, So the last time I went through this menu, those options weren't set, right? So I must have got those options from that configuration H file which Richard did. So I'm assuming that that board, the display controller, I'm assuming that that's the correct one. It must be the right one, because otherwise, if he set that to that, then it's not orange though, that's the only thing. And why is it not orange? Because I never set it to that. Normally stuff that's different is orange. Disable automatic info page switching, user interface disable auto page switch. I have no idea what that means. Allows faster value selection by turning encoder faster. What the hell? I have no idea what that is all about, so I'm just going to leave it. Now this is orange. Now why is it some things are orange and other things are not? I mean, headline. Only for graphic displays. Create a static headline for all pages. Leave empty for default view. Well, it is empty, but it's highlighted with orange. So what the hell is wrong with that? I don't know. How can it highlight an empty box? Because I've never changed it before. I give Shubas that link. So go to main menu after 30,000 milliseconds. Well, that's basically 30 seconds, right? Next, case light pin. What the hell is that? Next step. Manual edition. Oh, right. There's nothing there. So next step. I'll download the complete firmware including these settings. Right, so it's configured it all. I don't know what I want to be. Where am I? I think I'm in the wrong place. Hang on. I want to be in. Well, this is definitely the place. Save it there. I'll have to compare it later and see what the differences are. So 1. Download the complete firmware including these settings. This returns a zip file with a complete firmware including your settings in configuration H. You can upload the contained configuration H later to continue configuration or use it for future versions. The README text contains all instructions needed for compilation. Right. 2. Can't download configuration. This returns only the modified configuration H file. Use it to update an existing firmware. Well, maybe that's all I really need is a configuration H file. If it's got my offsets in it. What's the download config JSON? This file only contains your configuration settings. It is not needed for compilation. and contains only the settings part of the configuration H. Useful for printer vendors who want to offer a pre-configured and tested configuration to allow future firmware updates. Yeah, right, okay. I don't really understand. Well, I suppose that's for customizing of an existing firmware and all that. Well, maybe that's all I really need then, is configuration H file. To update the existing firmware. Maybe that's all I really need. I'm going to have to do some comparisons with this actually. I think I'll do that now actually. So if I go to H, I extracted all this earlier, so go back to, right, the new one is this one. Right, so what I need to do is actually create a new folder. I'm going to put a date, 10, oh it's 1010, alright, 1010, 2018, I think that's right, 10 of October, and if I extract all of that into that folder, right, cut, and I'll stick that in here. Right, now if I compare it with the one I recently did, right, I just want to compare this configure, oh, so that's communication. My configuration H, select file to compare. Go to this other one, find the other file, compare. Let's see what the difference is. Okay, there's definitely some differences. Right, the one that I downloaded the other day, right, the one that I actually downloaded the other day without the configuration H file that Richard sent me, the actual x-axis steps were set to they were set to 80 millimeters, right, which is the standard. But this new file I've just downloaded is set to 110. What the hell? Well, that can't be right, because that's going to throw everything out of kilter. But the offset that I put in has changed the offset there. X offset is now set at 3760, and on this one it's set at 5170. What the hell? What the hell? Why is that? I never even checked, and I stuck the same numbers in. So that's different. What else is different here? Skip M109 if within 2. I never changed that. And this one is set to 5. Skip M109. This is what puts me off when I need to update the firmware, because there's other things that have changed, and have heated bed 1. This one says it doesn't. Right, so that one I must have forgot to check a box. Actually, I can synchronise that because it does have a heated bed, so I don't get this stuff going on there. Of course it has a heated bed, why is it set to not over here? Yeah, there's a lot of discrepancies. Yeah, there's two files. There's file on the left and file on the right, and I'm looking at two files. One that I actually configured the other day, and one that I've just gone through, and mostly I haven't changed anything really except for the offsets, and there's a lot of things that are different. This is backwards. Home in order. Home order. This one it says Z, X, and then Y. Now this one it says X, Y, Z. It's backwards. What the hell? Why is that? This is what putting me off, you see. I don't want to be uploading a configuration file if it's got error problems with it, you know? Things that are backwards. Z probe X320. This one, Z probe X3100. What the heck? What's that doing at 100? It doesn't have a probe anyway. Hang on, it's just fan 2 control there. This one's fan 2. There isn't a fan 2. Well, there's only one fan that's been controlled, so yeah. The file on the right, this one, is the one that I've just been through that configuration. This one on the left is one I went through without the configuration H file that Richard sent me. So the one on the right is using the configuration H file that Richard sent in that zip file that he sent me. Because I've got two folders in here. There's all these files are the ones that Richard sent me in a zip file, right? All of the files are different, everything's different. This is what's really scary. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the new mind you, it's because of the I suppose that's because of the fact that it's a newer firmware. There's a hell of a lot more stuff in there than there was in the original file. What I really need to do is to go back and download the older version, the same version I'm using, and compare the difference between the older raw version and the version Richard sent me. That's probably what I need to do there, because just clicking on anything in here, right, this configuration H for example, just comparing that, I mean look at that, look at the differences between the version. There's a hell of a lot of differences in there. This is between two files, I mean there's a lot of differences in there. Anyway, yeah, I just need some help with this, I think. I really do. Anyway, I'm going to kill this stream now. I've got opened a support ticket on a forum, so I'm going to post the video because I don't really get too long. Totty bye.